Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and we love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes. In today's Q&A video, we're going to be answering your questions about trousers. Thank you for all your comments and questions that you guys have posted on our YouTube channel. After reading them all and answering as many as possible, I've selected 5 that we're going to feature in today's Q&A video. Each of these individuals I have selected will receive a complimentary pair of our Wellington Sovereign Grade laces as a token of our appreciation for their participation in our channel. And remember, if you have any questions or comments while you're watching one of our videos, please ask them in the comment section below. I try to get back to as many questions as possible. And if you enjoyed this video or are interested in any of the products we discussed, please visit our website, hangerproject.com, where we have curated the finest collection of luxury garment care and luxury shoe care accessories in the world, as well as other products for the well-dressed. Our first question today is from Mr. Glue, and it's on the History of Huntsman Tweeds video with Ed Turco. And it reads, what is the correct way to iron a pair of corduroy trousers, please? So, Mr. Glue, that is a great question. The ridges on corduroy trousers are called wales. So the width and the height of those ridges or those wales is what creates the difference between a narrow cord and a wide cord. And you really want to be really careful whenever you're pressing corduroy trousers not to collapse that. Because if you do, it'll totally ruin the texture of the corduroy trousers. And so there's 2 things that you really want to keep in mind when pressing corduroy trousers. First and foremost, you always want to use a pressing cloth. We sell a pressing cloth here at the Hanger Project that we developed especially for this. It's $20. It's an incredible investment because not using one will result in you ruining trousers. And so you want to use that pressing cloth as you're pressing your corduroy trousers to really prevent the hot sole plate of the iron from coming in direct contact with the fabric, which can cause sheening. It can cause the fabric to shine. And so you want to use that pressing cloth. Another great thing about the pressing cloth, though, is it also protects the fabric against the iron. So if you're traveling and you don't know the quality of the iron that you're using, you always want to use a pressing cloth, again, just to serve as an additional buffer, not only to prevent the shining, but also to prevent any staining should the sole plate of the iron be dirty. Now, the second thing that you want to keep in mind whenever you're pressing is to not use too much pressure when pressing corduroy, because again, you'll collapse the cords or those wales. And so with a standard pair of trousers, cotton trousers, wool trousers or cashmere trousers, they call it pressing because you really do apply a lot of pressure in order to set that crease and really press it flat. But on corduroy trousers, you would not want to use the same amount of pressure. You'd want to use really as little pressure as possible that is still going to result in a nice press. And so use steam. I mean, the steam will soften the fabric. And then, again, the press sets once that steam has evaporated. So, continue to press it just really using heat and not pressure to evaporate that steam. You can use a little bit more pressure to set that crease. But again, I would highly encourage you to use light pressure when pressing your corduroy trousers. Now, the other thing that is great to consider with corduroys is that because they're so heavy, a clamping trouser hanger will actually help keep the crease of the trousers and then eliminate any wrinklings. Because corduroys are so heavy, it's actually really quite effective at pulling the wrinkles out. So we have a clamping trouser hanger here. This is probably one of my favorite hangers that we sell here at the Hanger Project. We had this designed especially for us. It uses a high gauge, I think it's 2.5 to 3 millimeter gauge, all wire clamping mechanism. The reason that is important is because some of the other clamping trouser hangers you see commonly available use a little plastic clamping mechanism here that inevitably loses its rebound after just a few months and your trousers drop to the floor because it doesn't hold the clamp anymore. Our 3 millimeter all wire gauge clamping mechanism is the best in the world. And then we also have a very large crease allowance in the middle to, again, help ensure that the trouser is going to clamp your trousers effectively. So what this does is it holds the trousers vertically upside down by the cuff, and then the weight of the trousers actually pull the wrinkles out and reset that press at the end of the day. So I use a clamping trouser hanger for all of my denim and some of my heavier weight trousers. I use a felted trouser bar for the majority of my trousers because of space constraints. But if you don't have the room to use several of these, I recommend that you at least have one. And what you do at the end of the day, whenever you come back home, from the day's work, is you hang whichever trousers you wore that day up on a clamping trouser hanger on the back of your closet door, and then let those wrinkles kind of fall out overnight and into the next day. And then when you come back the next day, you switch those out, put them on your hanger, put them up, and then put the next pair of trousers on the clamping trouser hanger. So everyone should have at least one clamping trouser hanger. Everyone should have at least one garment brush. It kind of falls into the category of things that you should at least have one of. The trousers sound great. Thanks for asking that question, and we hope that you get years of great use out of those corduroy trousers. The second question today is from the Nanakun, and this is on our wooden clothes hangers closet organization Q&A number 12. Great question. He says, "Hey Kirby, I've noticed all of the different hangers for trousers on your website. Can you briefly explain the strengths of each type, specifically the wooden clip clamping and felted trouser bar hangers, so that I could best take care of my clothes? Is one better for certain trousers, or is it just a matter of personal preference? I'm learning more from every upload, and thank you for your epic mission towards men's wardrobe perfection." So thank you for your question. And you're absolutely right. We do have 3 different styles of hangers that we offer here at the Hanger Project. We've got our clamping trouser hanger, we've got our felted trouser bar, and then we've got our clip hanger. And there's absolutely a different purpose for each one of these hangers. Now, I just discussed in the previous question really the primary purpose of the clamping trouser hanger. The clamping trouser hanger is an exceptional hanger. Its only drawback is that it requires a double rod space. So it requires a lot of vertical space since you're hanging the trousers in their entire length vertically upside down by the cuff. But the benefit of this trouser, again, is that it's very gentle on the fabric because, again, it's clamping at the cuff. And then the weight of the trousers is going to pull the creases out of those trousers as it hangs. So, to be totally honest, if I had unlimited closet space, I'd probably hang almost all of my trousers on the clamping trouser hanger, just because it has that functional benefit of really pulling those creases out. It's an exceptional hanger. It's very popular, and we have this thing over-manufactured with a 2.5, 3 millimeter gauge, all clamping or all wire clamping mechanism, and again, this large, generous center seam allowance. Very, very important. Now, the next most popular hanger, actually, this is probably our most popular trouser hanger, followed by the clamping trouser hanger, and this is our felted trouser bar hanger. And we were the first company really to really market this. And the benefit here is that the felted bar allows the trousers to drape gently over this without any clamping or any pressure being applied. So, you've all seen those cheap wooden hangers that have the little wooden bar that wraps around the piece of metal. Well, the problem with that is that it, in order to secure the trousers, clamps it. And over time, not only can that clamp put a crease in the center of the trousers so that whenever you pull your trousers out in the morning, there's a really unsightly crease right across the center thigh, but it can actually damage the fabric by pinching it. So if you have any high supers or any really fine, lightweight fabric, that pinching over time can absolutely cause the fabric to rip or to tear. Now, a lot of people think, since there's no bar, is this going to be able to hold my trousers? And I guess, the irony here is that this does a better job securing your trousers than the locking bar mechanism because of all the friction that is being generated between the texture of the felted trouser bar and your trousers. So I travel with our suit hangers that all have felted trouser bars on it, and never once have I pulled my suits out of the garment bag to see that a trouser had fallen off the bar into the bottom of the garment bag. So exceptional hanger. Now there's another benefit to this hanger that is a little bit less obvious, and that is if you're not someone that is using our felted trouser bar, maybe you're using a dry cleaning hanger, that's basically a triangle with the bar at the bottom, or you're using just a regular shirt hanger with a dowel bar on it. The benefit of this is that, again, it pulls the trousers up. It actually the trousers sit much closer to the rod. And the benefit there is it allows you to get much more efficient use out of your closet because it reduces by about 3 or 4 inches the amount of vertical space you need to hang your trousers. So if you're someone that has tight kind of quarters in your closet, being able to pull everything up because this hanger is more efficient will allow you to maybe get an extra row of clothing in at the bottom, or maybe it gives you room at the bottom of your closet for shoes or for boxes or something. And so those little things, we absolutely love here at the Hanger Project and really do make a big difference. Now, the third hanger that we have is a clip hanger. And so this is a more traditional clip hanger. It's just clips. And, this is not something that I would use on any type of delicate fabrics because, again, the clamping mechanism is quite strong. And so it will indent the fabric. It wouldn't damage it, but again, whenever you have great options like the felted trouser bar or the clamping trouser hanger, I wouldn't use this on any of my dress trousers. But this is a good hanger for denim. Again, denim is much more strong, much stronger than wool or cashmere, and so you don't have to worry about being really soft with it. So this is a great hanger for denim. You can use it for shorts or anything else you want to hang where, it doesn't matter if you're putting a little bit of pressure on it. So you could use this for chinos, but to be totally honest, with my chinos, I use a clamping trouser hanger. So if you have these, these are more expensive than the clip hanger, so maybe that's a reason that you'd use a clip hanger versus the clamping trouser hanger. But for all my chinos, I use the clamping trouser hanger. I use the clamping trouser hanger for my denim, but if you were looking to save a few bucks, you could absolutely get away with using the clip hanger on a pair of denim, on shorts, on cotton. It certainly wouldn't damage the fabric, but I would stay away from any type of suiting materials, any type of wool or cashmere. I wouldn't use the clip hanger on that. So 3 great options. Of course, all of our luxury suit hangers are made with the felted trouser bar, and we actually do have some suit hangers that use the clamping trouser mechanism on them also. So a lot of options here. Hopefully it's not overwhelming, and hopefully I answered your questions so that we can get you taken care of in your closet. So our next question is on Q&A number 24 on Instagram comments, and this is from Porco Rosso, and it reads, thank you for these great videos. I find them very helpful. Can you please comment on the recent trend for slim fit jackets and trousers? Personally, I just don't like tight fitting clothes. Thanks. So Porco, you and I are in good company with one another because I couldn't agree with you more. Nothing looks more adolescent, really, than clothes that don't fit. There's really little excuse for it. Not only is it unflattering, but really more importantly is it's just uncomfortable. There's no reason that your suits shouldn't be the most comfortable clothing you own. And if it's not the most comfortable clothing you own, it's probably because it doesn't fit correctly. And so clothing that is too tight is never comfortable. It's just as simple as it is. And so if anything, you should err on the side of your clothing fitting slightly loose versus slightly tight. It's always the better way to err because one, we always naturally gain weight. And second, you want a little bit of space in your clothing to move around so that you can put things in your pockets and not disrupt the silhouette. And so along with this tight-fitting jacket and trousers trend has been the no pleats trend because for some reason pleats got associated with kind of old and stodginess. They couldn't be any more further from the truth. I think a single or even a double pleat is incredibly elegant, but it also serves a vital function in creating additional fabric around the seat of the pants so that if you have some car keys in your trouser pockets, that it's not bulging out of your pocket. And that extra fabric is really important to allowing you to put things in your pockets without it disrupting the drape. The other important function of pleats is so that whenever you sit down, it has an allowance of additional fabric so that you're not stretching your fabric and that it's comfortable. It just allows for a greater freedom of movement. Our next question is from a good friend of mine and frequent commenter, Ian Median. And it reads, this is on the bespoke shirt measurements video with Will Whiting. It says, fascinating. There seems to be just as much to designing a shirt as there is to designing a jacket. There's no question. Love Will's trousers. It seems traditional high-waisted trousers are making a comeback. I've always thought that they have a more elegant look over more modern hip-type waists. Thanks, Kirby. Another great video. Ian, great observation. In that video, Will is absolutely wearing a very highly waisted pair of trousers. And so high-waisted trousers sit above the hips at the natural waist, whereas most normal trousers are cut to actually sit on the hips and across the hip bone. One of the benefits of a high-waisted trouser is that because it's sitting above the hip bones at the waist, you're able to cut the trousers to be slightly looser because the natural kind of shape of the hips keeps the trousers from falling down. So the result is a much more comfortable trouser that isn't pinching at the waist. High-waisted trousers don't require belts, again, because that natural kind of bellowing of the hips help keep the trousers up. And it also elongates the drape or the silhouette of the trousers by rising higher. So another benefit of high-waisted trousers is it allows the side adjusters or the tabs to sit a little bit down off of the waist and on the hip and to really kind of pinch the trouser there. So again, it just allows the waist to be a little bit looser, a little bit more comfortable, and that allowance is what creates comfortable clothing. Now, the pinnacle of comfort whenever it comes to trousers is a pair of high-waisted trousers cut for braces. And what I mean by cut for braces is that essentially it's cut with enough allowance so that if you weren't wearing the braces, the trousers would fall to the ground. Now, what that allows the trousers to do is to actually hang from the shoulders because, again, the braces are going over the shoulders, and that's the point from which your trousers are really draping. They're making almost no contact with your waist at all. And one last benefit, and if we're really getting into the minutiae, but I think it's very important and I want to mention it, and this is one of the benefits of high-waisted trousers cut for braces, is that the button for the braces are always set right above the pleat. And what that allows is so that whenever you stand up, the trouser is essentially draping right from that point above the pleat, and it causes those pleats to naturally close, which again just creates the most beautiful and elegant silhouette of a pair of trousers that can be made. So our next question is on our everyday carry video. This question is from Robert Johnson. It reads, Kirby, great video. Years ago, I stopped putting my wallet in my rear pocket. I can't tell you how many casual trousers I've ruined because of this. All of your comments are spot on. The only thing you may want to add is to not carry loose change. Keep up the great work. So Robert, thank you for your comment. And what Robert is speaking about is how in my everyday carry video, I really lament how I actually prefer to carry as little on me as possible. And really that even comes down to my wallet. I absolutely never put my wallet in my back pocket because it can cause a hole to wear in your trousers. And second, I always travel with a small kind of credit card case as opposed to a large folding billfold, which I do have, but I always keep in my briefcase. I never actually carry it. And so the smaller your wallet, the better. I mean, this Russian reindeer credit card holder I have allows me to keep a driver's license, a few credit cards, and a few $100s. It fits perfectly in my breast pocket of my jacket without disrupting the drape at all. And if I'm not wearing a jacket, I'll put this in my back pocket or my front pocket, but whenever I go to sit down, I always take it out. You never find me sitting down with anything in my pockets because, again, if you have this in your back pocket and you're sitting down on a chair, the way that this, or really anything, rubs in between the fabric of your trousers and whatever it is you're sitting on will inevitably always wear a hole in what you're wearing, and it's the fastest way you can destroy a pair of trousers. Now, regarding loose change, I never carry loose change here in America because I primarily am always using a credit card. But the reality is that in London, you can actually, have quite a bit of money just in loose change. I mean, you could easily have, 5 or 10 pounds in your pocket. One of the things that you can do is have a little coin holder or coin pouch that you keep in a briefcase. But generally, as a rule, better not to have any loose change in your pockets, but if you're traveling internationally, sometimes it's difficult to get away from it. Once again, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for their comments and questions. It's your engagement on our YouTube channel that make these Q&A videos possible. Not only does it give me an opportunity to answer in greater depth a lot of the questions that I'm already answering, but it allows us to take a moment to acknowledge your participation in our channel. I absolutely love this platform and how it's allowed me to connect more directly with all of you. If you haven't taken an opportunity to ask a question or make a comment, I invite you to do so. Even if you don't have any questions to ask, just sharing your opinions or your thoughts about our content make these videos more fun for everyone. I read all those questions and comments personally and really do enjoy getting back to as many of them as I possibly can. I'm Kirby Allison, and we love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes. Thanks for joining me.